Okay, when I say massive, man-made island, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's Dubai, right? But what if I told you the real master of island building isn't in the Middle East at all, and that their greatest creation makes the famous Palm look, well, like a tiny sandcastle? Let's dig in. So, yeah, on one side, you've got the icon everyone recognizes, Palm Jumeirah, an amazing piece of engineering, for sure. But on the other side, that question mark, that's the real giant of this story. We're talking about an island so huge you could cram almost 170 Palm Jumeirahs inside it. Yeah, you heard that right. 170. So, where is this behemoth? Well, it turns out the true masters of creating land from water aren't in Dubai. They're in the Netherlands. And this isn't some new hobby for them. They've been battling the sea for centuries. And let's be honest, they've pretty much perfected it.
All right, time for the big reveal. Its name is Flevopolder. And, calling it an island doesn't even do it justice. This is an entire province. It's a monument to human ingenuity on a scale that's, well, it's pretty hard to wrap your head around.
So, just how big are we talking? Get ready for this number 970 square kilometers. To put that into perspective, that's bigger than all of New York City. This is not some fancy resort for tourists. It's a massive, sprawling landscape pulled right out of the seabed. And this chart really just says it all, doesn't it? The difference is staggering. It's not just a little bigger, it's in a completely different universe. That tiny little bar on the left, that's a world-famous icon, and it is absolutely dwarfed by Flevopolder. Remember that number? 170 times bigger. Okay, so this brings up the one huge, mind-bending question. How on earth do you do that? How do you create an entire province from the sea? How do you just turn a vast body of water into solid ground? Well, the technique is called land reclamation. It's basically the process of creating new land from oceans, seas, or in this case, a lake bed. And like I said, nobody, and I mean nobody, does it better than the Dutch. It sounds crazy complicated, but they've boiled it down to a science. Here's the gist in 3 steps. First, you build these enormous walls, called dikes, to fence off a huge section of the lake. Step 2, you bring in massive pumping stations that work 24/7 to pump out every last drop of water. And then, the final step, you have to cultivate that newly exposed seabed, turning it from mud into rich, fertile farmland. But you gotta understand, this was never about just showing off. The Dutch became the world's experts for one simple reason. They had to. It was a matter of survival. For a country that's in a constant fight with the sea, controlling the water isn't just a cool project, it's everything. Just think about this for a second. Over a quarter, 26% of their entire country is already below sea level. So they aren't reclaiming land just to have more space. They're doing it to literally keep their heads above water. And as you can probably guess, something this monumental doesn't happen overnight. Nope. The idea was first dreamed up way back in the early 20th century. Construction didn't even start until 1950, and then it took almost 20 years of nonstop work before the land was finally fully reclaimed in 1968. We're talking decades of effort. So what did all that work get them? A complete transformation. Flevopolder isn't just some empty patch of dirt. No way. It's a thriving, living, breathing part of the Netherlands. How thriving? Well, today, over 400,000 people call this man-made island home. Just let that sink in. That's the population of a major city like Miami, and they're all living on land that used to be the bottom of a lake. It's wild. And it's not like they're roughing it. This is a complete world built on a former seabed. You've got bustling cities, incredibly fertile farms, modern roads, community schools, the whole shebang. An entire society built from the ground up, literally. Okay, now here's the part that really messes with my head. The whole place, all those people, all those cities, sits on average 5 meters below sea level. Not at sea level, below it. So, what's stopping the sea from just rushing back in and swallowing everything? The answer is one of the most advanced flood control systems in the world. It's the only thing standing between this province and the water. If those defenses ever failed, the whole place could just disappear. But the story gets even cooler. There's another layer to Flevopolder, a hidden history that's literally right under everyone's feet. Because they basically just drained a giant lake bed, the whole area has become a gold mine for scientists. When you dig down, you find all sorts of incredible stuff. Fossils from the old seafloor, traces of ancient riverbeds that are perfectly preserved. It's like a time capsule.
But this place isn't just stuck in the past. Far from it. Today, Flevopolder is changing again, and this time it's becoming a blueprint for what a sustainable future could look like.
Seriously, this is where you go to see the future in action. They're experimenting with some amazing things, like whole neighborhoods of floating homes that can handle changing water levels. You'll see massive wind farms and all kinds of groundbreaking green energy projects.
When you boil it all down, the story of Flevopolder is really a story about human will. They looked at the sea, said no more, created land out of literally nothing, and then built an entire future on top of it.
It's just an incredible reminder of what we can do when we really put our minds to it. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's the next impossible challenge that human ingenuity is going to conquer?